Hello, and welcome to another episode of Funny Running Stories. I'm Martise Moore, the Run Faster coach, and today we are going to hear from Sara Aston in London, England.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Big day.
Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
So, Sara, how long have you been running?
Okay, I have been running for just over 4 years, like as seriously as I have this time round. I used to run years and years ago, and I lost a lot of confidence because whenever I used to go out running, I'd go out during the day and there'd be drunk men just hanging outside pubs and just telling me to put my boobs away. The thing is though, I didn't have my boobs out because I'm quite busty, and obviously they're juggling away like, you know, a couple of Beyonce lookalikes. So they were just there. So I stopped running after that. And yeah, and then I started properly 4 years ago in the May, so 2016. Yeah.
All right. So, we're glad you're back.
Yay, me too.
Okay, so tell us your funniest running story.
Okay, well, there are a couple. Right. Okay, I remember one incident, I think it must have been about 2 years ago, and there's this really hot girl. I'm not a lesbian, but I can, you know, I appreciate really beautiful women. And my husband laughs at me sometimes because we'll go into a pub and there'll be a pretty barmaid and I'll tell her she looks like a model, and my husband will apologize saying, well, I'm sorry, my wife's flirting. Anyway, I digress. So going back to this really hot woman, she often acknowledges me, gives me a nice little smile or whatever. Anyway, she's faster than me, obviously, because she's Lara Croft and I'm Phoebe from Friends. And she's like running ahead of me, and we're on a narrow pathway in the town where I live, and there's this guy and he's walking towards us, just, you know, normal walker. And he takes a step and lets this really hot girl run past him. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so lovely. Okay, I wish everyone was like that. Anyway, I reach him and I nearly bump into him because I'm not this hot girl. I've got jugs, obviously, but you know, they're not the kind he's interested in. So there was that little incident. And then I have this thing. Now, I am not, you know, I'm not Mo Farah, I'm not some great Olympian, but I do love running. And my husband is really shocked that I've kept it up. I ran the London Marathon 2 years ago, in 2018. And when I told my husband I was going to run the London Marathon, he just laughed. He was like, babe, you can't even run to the shop. Do you know what I mean? But I did that training. I did 16 weeks of training. And towards the end of my training, which was in the March, and bearing in mind the marathon was in April, I'm not joking, Martise, it snowed like you wouldn't believe. Like God was just like rubbing his head, and dandruff of snow was just coming down. So I've been training in the snow. So when I got to the London Marathon, now for England, for London, it was the hottest day of the year. It was 22 degrees, and I was now running the London Marathon in 22 degrees from having training in snow. So it was quite a shock. Anyway, I did the marathon and really proud of myself. And I remember my husband was so choked, so overwhelmed. He was like, babe, I can't believe you've done it. I'm so proud of you. And I think it just indicated to him, when I say I'm going to do something, I put 100% into it. Anyway, we're on the train going home, and we just got on the tube to go to our last station to get the final train. And he just steps on the tube and he says, everybody, this is my wife. She has just completed the London Marathon. Can someone please give her a seat? Aww. So that was really, really sweet.
Aww.
Yeah, I know. I'm a heart there. I love that. So since then, I've kept running, and I will never be, you know, Speedy Gonzalez. But when you get to a point when you're running, I kind of slug, you know, like, especially when I'm doing long distance runs. And there's been a couple of times where I'm running, I don't think anyone's around, you know, it's still quite dark. So sometimes, most of the time I go running in the morning, and then I'm aware I'm not looking attractive, you know, who cares? And then all of a sudden, there's a really attractive man also running. And all of a sudden, Matisse, I am Lara Croft. I am sexy being. You know, I have been running for years and years and years, and I know how to hold my posture up perfectly as a runner.
Oh, wow.
And then the man runs by, and then I go back to being Phoebe from Friends. Yeah.
Well, whatever motivates you.
Exactly. And I always believe, always give them a show. I remember doing a charity run 4 years ago. This is what got me into running again. I did a charity run, and I had not been running for years. And this is how I started 4 years ago. The company I worked for were doing this charity run, and they were asking people if they wanted to participate. And I'm always up for a laugh. And it was a colour run. So at each mile or kilometre, you get covered in paint. Mm-hmm. And I thought this will be fun. So I signed up for it. And then I saw the list of all the other runners, and they're real sporty people that work for our company. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to look like a right doofus if I just turn up without any training. Mm-hmm. So this run was in July, and from the May, so I gave myself 2 months, and I trained and I trained. And in the beginning, I was walking 2 miles, running for a minute, walking 2, and then it built up. And then before I knew it, I wasn't walking. I just kept running. I kept running. So I did the colour run, and I remember I think it must be about 2 miles in, and my shoelaces came undone, and my boss was in the audience, like in the crowd, and he was like, come on Sarah. And I thought, oh my god, I've got to bend down to do it, my shoelace. So I bent down, everyone was cheering, come on Sarah, because I think they thought I was going to collapse or something, because you know, wasn't a normal runner back then. And as I did my shoelace up, and then as I leant back up, I just wiggled my bum like I was some sexy being, and I carried on running. And I said to my boss, yelled over to him, I said, Craig, I'll always give you a show. And that's my motto ever since. So whenever I go running, if I see an attractive man or children, or, you know, I like to think I can be a role model in the sense that I don't take myself seriously, but I do like my fitness and my running. So,
so fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for sharing that.
Pleasure.
So what does your running life look like nowadays?
Okay, well, during lockdown here so we had lockdown from March till June, and I ran 100 miles in the whole of April, and then I ran another 100 miles in May, and then I thought, right, I'm bored now. And then I realized I wasn't enjoying running as much. It was becoming more of a chore, because I was running like 5 times a week, and sometimes I'd get up early in the morning on the weekend, and husband wants a bit of nookie, you know, and I'm going for a run. So, you know, he's like, you know, still burning the calories, babe, but obviously, you know, there's different obstacles to sort of jump on. But yeah, so I had to kind of rethink this situation. So I'm on various forums on Facebook for runners, and I was getting all this different advice, and I decided from the feedback that I would just run 3 times a week. That way I would look forward to it, and I wouldn't make them so long. So now I run 3 times a week, and I always try and get 1 or 2 hills in there as well, because it's just nice to, you know, sort of make it more challenging and not so repetitive. So that's my schedule for running at the moment. I don't know how long that will go on for, but I've kept that routine for about 8 weeks, I think. So
very nice. Well, we're certainly rooting for you. Where can we actually follow what you're doing?
If you do want to follow, you know, I have had stalkers in the past, but I've never reported them. If you do want to follow, obviously I am on Twitter at Comedy Lulu, and I'm also on Instagram at Comedy Lulu as well. And and I always log my runs on these platforms, but I always try and find a funny picture or, you know, a funny quote because otherwise it's just your stats, and people, you know, it's really boring for them, like, oh, 5 miles in, you know, 25 hours, blah blah blah. So I try and add something witty to the post as well. But yeah, that's where people can find me if they want to, but no pressure.
Oh, no, we're pressuring them. Follow Sara.
Oh,
Okay, because you can tell how funny she is, so it'll definitely
oh,
be worth
thank
a
you.
follow.
You should
Well,
see, well,
thank
yeah.
you so much for
Oh,
joining us and putting a smile on our face. And we're going to continue to run
oh,
and laugh with you. And
thank
so we can all
you.
get through this together.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's really nice of you to say so.
Okay, well, we'll talk to you later, Sara. Have a
All
good
right. And you, Marty.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.